multidisciplinary opportunities. Engineering, only for engineering, that's not looking at entrepreneurship. I think we're missing the boat. If you're in the arts and you're not looking for the business aspect of how you're going to be able to, build your company with your art, you're missing something. If you're in, I don't know, the medical field and biotech, and you're not looking at what's going on in robotics or ethics or the business side or whatever, you're missing. If you look at across, people think about automation as loss of jobs because of robots. There is actually a higher risk around the middle management, single-focused professional is probably where the biggest loss of jobs are going to be due to artificial intelligence and machine learning. What's going to counter that is your ability to think, think creatively, to be problem solvers, to be multidisciplinary.
Everybody's got their own advice, so you've got to, take it, agree, figure out what you like best. But I think one thing that I see a gap today and will continue to be kind of a demand is organizational change management, change behavior, coupled with those interdisciplinary areas, right? Helping organizations, associations, companies, education, whoever, adapt and evolve around what's happening, where we're going versus where we've been. So that would be one area that I see we struggle to hire. Again, it has to be something you're passionate about. It's not something you just do it because it's a, kind of a, how to say, a fad or killer job. And I know it's hard, and I apologize for parents in the room. Don't follow the money. Like, if you ever follow money. My background, my MBA is in international business and negotiation, but my passion is supply chain and manufacturing and logistics, and that's where I ended up. So.
First of all, I want to say that the Harvey Mudd team that worked at my factory was fantastic, and if any of you in your companies have a chance to use them, absolutely. I've used Harvey Mudd twice, and both times, and that's just only because that's the only opportunity I've had. I'm going to plan on using them every year because the results were amazing. Probably, I've worked with a lot of different consultants, and especially on the operations side, they come in and say, hey, can we, what are your ideas for improving it? And then they present those to management, and then they leave and get paid a bunch of money. But they don't do anything. They actually did better than I've seen professional consultants do. So anyway, great job with that. All right, enough with my advertisement. So we're asking, what job should you take? And you're talking to somebody that, my first thing that I wanted to do was be an astronaut. Of course, it was 5. Then I went on to marine biology, and then I said, well, I'm going to be a history guy. And my uncle said, well, you never make money in history. Do something else. So I said, okay, well, all right. I'm going to join the military, so I'm going to get my degree. I'll be in business. I'll do business. All right, so then I got my degree in business and operations management, and the military stuck me in communications. So I went into computers, satellite technology, telecommunications, microwave, single channel radio, encryption systems. Ended up doing that, and then I got out of the military and said, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And ended up in manufacturing. So I guess my point is, whatever you do, get your degree in, you're probably going to end up doing something different. So, yeah, right now it's probably the closest thing. I did get my MBA and use the military to help pay for it, and which is great. This is probably the first time I've been in a position that actually uses what I actually got a degree in on a fairly regular basis, but it's taken 20 years to get there. So, and that's the point where you decide to specialize, when you get your, but even, MBAers end up doing all sorts of random things. So I would just say, do the thing that keeps you motivated. I think that was brought up before. Do the thing that you're interested in, and have a backup plan. in case that doesn't work out. Because really, you don't know where you're going to end up. Eventually, you'll find out what motivates you, and you'll angle the trajectory of your career towards that, and then you'll be successful in doing it.
So there's a great book by Sheryl Sandberg called Lean In, but she used an expression that we no longer have a career ladder, we have a career jungle gym, right? Because it's going all in different directions and figure it out. But I'd also say, for all of us in the room, be a continuous learner. Like, I've gone back and earned new certifications, I've gone back to school, sometimes not to my family's delight, but I just feel like you have to continue to apply and learn and evolve professionally. So school and graduating with an undergrad or an MBA, that should only be the beginning of your learning life, and we should all be continuing to learn, so. We're gonna go back and forth.
From the perspective of which job, I mean, if you're looking at it from a different perspective, which jobs are the jobs that are going to stick around? I mean, supply chain is necessary in every single company. Anybody that goes into supply chain can take their career and they say, you want to go into operations within the business, you can easily make that jump. It's not that difficult. Move up through the organization from that perspective. It's a great place to start. I think that's great. If you're an engineer mindset, I mean, engineering, I think the thing about Southern California that's great is we have great minds. We have great schools in this area. Even if we've seen that, we all know that Southern California in general may not be the #1 place in the United States from a perspective of business friendliness, but from the perspective that the minds are here, and a lot of times the innovation is happening here. You see Google, we see Apple, etc. It can go on forever. The reason why Southern California is still such a big place for manufacturing, why we have so many businesses, is because of that. The thinkers are here, and even if the manufacturing, as we've seen it happen, end up moved to Mexico, moved to China, maybe now back out of China and somewhere else, but the people coordinating all of that are still here, and the supply chain people are still here. So I see a lot of opportunity there, and really the people that have the opportunity to make a huge impact in the business are absolutely, supply chain, the engineers, and the engineers jump into operations. AMETEK is made up of engineering people that moved up and are now the CEO of the company. So it's a great place to start as well. So practicality, that's my insight.
So James, I think I saw you aiming for a mic.
Well, I think we've beat this horse enough. My advice would be, do not go get a $30,000 a year career spending $150,000 in debt. I don't believe that college is the only path for everyone. Find the right path to what you want to do. And it does help if what you're trying to do aligns with your interests and your passions, because that will make you better than almost everybody else, and there's never enough of the best in any industry. The point was made about always learning. Continuous improvement is not just for the factory, it's for individuals. If you get out of college and you stop learning, you're done. The attitude of work, hard work, effort, ability to learn, adapt, try to overcome problems, a can-do attitude, those are as valuable as a degree, because those people will then go and learn what it takes to do the job, and then they will be successful. So, yeah, college is important for certified degrees, maybe not. So my daughter wants to make a dessert-only restaurant. I don't think college is the right path for her, but I want her to go to college to get the roundedness, to learn the humanities, the arts, the English, become a whole person, and then maybe she'll hit a trade school for her bakery. Who knows? Find the right path for you and then stick with it.
Very good. And I would definitely second that. Is continuous improvement is one of the values that APICS Inland Empire says that I talked about earlier today. But I can tell you, because I work with hundreds of clients over the years, and the most successful individuals could be in any position in those clients. But what they all have in common is that they are continually learning and they're applying that learning. So you can come from way behind and be extremely successful, or you can start out in the front and stay there. But either way, I would totally second that. And it doesn't always have to be exactly in your profession. You can get a peripheral things are good, like the panel was saying, is diversity. So who else has a question here? All right, I'm going to go there, but I know Cash has one too, so you're far away, so I'm going to go here first.
This is called optimization of the flow. Definitely to transform a company, you need technology, but you also need people to use and support the technology. If the employees are not flexible or adaptive, then the technology could fail. So what I wanted to know was, in your organization, what do you do to support or encourage that culture?
It's a great question.
I think you have to have, just in general, a culture of openness, where people are not afraid to speak up and bring up opportunities for improvements. And if you don't have that, people are afraid to talk, or they're afraid of management, or then nothing's going to happen. So I guess the question would be, how do you have that type of a culture? And I've seen, I think one is you have to create engagement. So change is the only constant, and so there's plenty of opportunities to change within an organization. So as you're doing that changing, making sure that change is built upon the ideas and the teams of people that are involved with that organization, and making sure that they're the ones making the change versus management pushing that down. And that's kind of fosters that environment whereby people want to say, hey, look at what I just did. What else can I do? And they feel good about coming to work every day. So that's step one. Now technology, and hopefully that turns into, hey, I just saw this great technology that came out. What do you think about us being able to do that, or how can we implement that here? Then of course there's things like incentive programs, bring up your ideas, and fostering that, and making sure that people see their ideas being implemented on a regular basis. And then I think that just happens. But other than that, it's also giving people the opportunity to go out and find out about new technologies. So you're taking people, you're developing them, and you're sending them to conferences where technology is being discussed, to learning development opportunities whereby they can learn about these things. And so you're making sure that, again, you're utilizing your people and developing them so that they want to bring that to the business.
Does anybody want to add anything, or okay?
Well, I think one of the things is just a clearly defined corporate culture to start with, because any version from a more risk-averse approach to bringing in new technology to a high-risk, fail-fast approach, they work, as long as there's consistency in how management all the way through the organization carries through. So our company is very high risk. We are always pushing the envelope with everything we do. We work with entrepreneurs that are doing the same. And so that culture doesn't work for every situation. And so I've been in aerospace for a decade before, my first career. And we had one CEO where it was a very innovative culture, and everything were those ideas, exactly like you said. We tried new things, every level of the organization, it was there. There was a change in culture through a change of the CEO, and then that kind of stopped. So, I guess that's just it, is pay attention, because you'll attract the employees you want that help embody the culture that you're putting out there.
The one thing I'd add is the fear of failure. A lot of times technology isn't tried because somebody is afraid of failing, looking foolish, losing their job. I was associated with one company loosely. The CEO would always say, if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough to push, then the next level down. If you fail, you're in trouble. So that culture has to be at every level all the way down. That message has to be consistent all the way down, or you're going to have your lower level that are going to be too afraid to do anything because they've got a mixed message and they know if they fail, they're on their own. So consistency of message and allowing failure.
Completely true. I have to say, add something to that, having the real opportunity to innovate and not being concerned about failing is truly unique. I probably run across less than 20% of my clients really do it. Probably 80% say it, but 20% do it. Because it's hard, when are you gonna fail? Month end, it's when you're gonna fail. So you have to